So, hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. So, let's start with today's session. And first, we will do a quick revision of what we have done till now. So, importantly, what we have seen or covered is like starting with peer. So, let me take a new slide and we will just note the points which we have covered. Fine. So, let's do a quick revision. So, we have first started with the primary ledger, that is peer. So, in primary ledger, we have seen that it comprises of four C's. Fine. And what are the four C's? Four C's are like calendar, currency, accounting method, and important one, chart of account. Fine. So we have seen that primary ledger required this four C's. Now, if I talk one by one about the C's, first starting with the calendar. In calendar, we have seen that we need to create a period type. Very important. This period type is what is a mandatory field required while creating our accounting calendar. So first we need to require a period type. Period type can be a physical or a calendar. Fine. Then after period type, we have seen how to create accounting calendar. And we have also covered transaction calendar. In this calendar, we specify what are the valid business days for posting of our journal entries. We can define this from this calendar. Fine. So this was calendar. Then the next is currency. In currency, we have seen that it is already predefined in the application. We know we don't have to create a currency. It is already predefined. We just need to select our currency, which is required by us for assigning in the primary ledger. So it is already predefined. Fine. Then the next is accounting method convention. Fine. So in this accounting method convention also we have seen that there are various accounting methods which are already predefined by the Oracle in the application. So you can use the predefined one or you can also create your own customized accounting method according to the requirement of the business user. But I have taken in my example already created one that was a standard accrual. And so I have used predefined one and that was standard accrual in my case. Then let's talk about the last C, charts, chart of accounts. Fine. This is very important configuration need to be done. And in the creation or defining of the charts of accounts, we have seen we need to define first a value set. Then we need to create a structure where we map our value set with the segments, and we also give the segment qualifiers here. Like what will be the balancing segment, what will be the cost center, what will be the natural accounts, obviously account segment will be the natural account, and so on. So define value structure, and the last thing is segment values creation. Fine. So we have seen all three things in the charts of accounts. So these are the 4 C's which we have covered. Then what we have done, we have assigned all the 4 C's in our primary ledger. Then we have seen how to create a legal entity. And while creating a legal entity, we have also seen how you can create a location in creating a legal addresses. Fine. So these are very important when you will go to configure a primary ledger. The first thing which it requires is the legal entity. So you need to create a legal entity. There you need to give a legal address to a legal entity. And while creating a legal address, you also need to specify a location there. So these were the steps which we have seen. Then there are other setups also in primary ledger, which we have done and covered, like we have seen specify ledger options. Ledger options. And so in ledger options, what we have done, we have defined and updated the journal processing options for your ledger. Like importantly, what we have done here is we have linked our retained earning account here. This is very important. And apart from this, there are various options there, like you can give your suspense account there, your journal reversal criteria sets there. Then if you want, you can enable intra-company balancing rule from their journal approvals and etc. So we have seen all these options in the in the specify ledger options in primary ledger. Then the next setup which we have seen here was of reporting currencies. Fine. So in reporting currency, for creating a reporting currency, we use reporting currency for creating a reporting currency and update a currency conversion and journal processing options. So we have seen that you can create your reporting currency. Fine. Then uh, next setup which we have seen was balancing segment values. Fine. So here we assign our balancing segment value to the ledger. Fine. There are two levels at which you need to specify your segment balancing segment value is first at the legal entity level, and after that at the ledger level. So you need to assign this. Then we have seen subledger, accounting options. Fine. So here what we do, here we define rules to generate our accounting entries from subledger transactions. So we have seen that there are accounting options and system options which we need to specify for each and every application individually. One by one you can do that. So we have just navigated to it and we have seen what are the options there and how they are defined there in the accounting options. Fine, then we have seen after that operating unit. So if you want, you can just create your operating unit and you can maintain or define it the same to your primary ledger here. Fine. So our next step, which we have seen, was operating unit. Then what we have covered is we have seen the enter company account and intra company balancing rules. So in intercompany accounts, we have specified what will be the receivable or payable account for the same. And in intracompany balancing rule, first, we have seen that we need to enable from the specify ledger option this intra balancing rule. Then only you can go for the creation of the balancing rule in it. There we need to specify debit and credit. And there are various options like one to many default rule where we give all the option and specify them. So we have seen all this setup in intracompany balancing rule. Then after that, the last thing which we configured in the setup of primary ledger was the sequencing. Fine. So sequencing, it define and maintain accounting and reporting sequencing option for ledger and reporting currency. So we have seen all this thing basically, which are very important in our GL. And apart from this, we have also covered some other topics like we have covered so other topics which we have covered are like roll-up group. We have seen roll-up group. It helps us to identify a group of parent value for reporting or other application purpose. So we have seen how you can create a roll-up group first, and then how you can specify that group at your segment values. Fine. Then we have seen account alias. So these are used to speed the entry of accounting segment value. You can give a short name or a code to your account combination. Like you need to, like if you want to uh, give a accounting combination for travel expense, so then you no need to write each and every segment value there. You can just search with the name or code travel which you have created in alias, and whole segment will display there. You can make alias for whole segment, or you can create the alias for partial segment as well. So we have seen how you can create the same. Then after account alias, we have talked about the rates, rate types, and daily rates. So we have seen there are rate types already predefined, and if you want to create a rate type, you can also create the same. And then we have also seen daily rates. You can create daily rates manually in the instance, or you can also upload the same by using a spreadsheet. So we have seen both the method manually as well as spreadsheet, how you can do the same. So these are very important for the foreign currency conversion. So it is very important to specify rate type and daily rates. Then we have seen journal source. So then we have seen journal source, that there are various journal source which are already predefined. We have seen the list of the sources, like it can be manual or it can be through other application or spreadsheet. So what is the source of your journal which you are importing it from the non-Oracle system? So it is very important to define your journal source. You can use the predefined one, or else you can also create a new source if required. So we have seen how you can create a new one. And in the same manner, we have also seen journal categories. So in journal categories, we have all seen that there is also a list which is already predefined in the application. So you can use the predefined category, or else you want a new category which is not predefined and you want to use it, then you can also create the same. And categories are like adjustment, accrual, bank charges, etc., which you need to specify. So this journal source and journal category, when you enter a journal, then you need to give a journal category, and if you will go to other informations tab, you can see a journal source of that particular journal entry as well. So these are very important here. Then also we have covered journal reversal criteria sets. So we have seen journal reversal criteria set as well. So it is very helpful to generate and post large number of journal reversal. Like you can enter a journal, post the same, and if you want to reverse the same, you can reverse it manually also. But this criteria set help you to automatically do the reversal. So first, what you need to do is you need to create a reversal criteria set. Then after creating it, you need to specify the same in your primary ledger. Then after specifying in the primary ledger, you can just enter a journal, post the same, and just go for the automatic reversal of the journal, and you can see reversal will be done there. So we have covered all these things in our past sessions. So this was a shortest revision of the topics which we have covered. So in the last session, we have completed with the PL setups. So let me take you to the instance first. Let's log in. So I have logged in with my user IMP500. Now I will just go to the navigator and choose my responsibility. You can now I need to go to setups. Journal ledger super user is my responsibility. Then I will go to setups, then financials, then flex, no, then accounting setup manager, and then accounting setup. So here we will search the ledger which we have created, our primary ledger EBS PL. So here is our EBS PL which we have created. Just update. Now here you can see we have done with all the configurations. We have created our legal entity. We have created a legal entity. Then we have also assigned ledger options here. After assigning a ledger options here, our primary ledger name is displaying. Then we have done the configurations for reporting currency, balancing segment value segments, subledger accounting options, operating unit, intercompany accounts, intracompany balancing rules, and sequencing. So you can see the status of all the setups are incompleted. So we are done with this. But after creating a primary ledger or after configuring all the setups here, also you are not able to use this primary ledger. First, for using this, we need to create a responsibility. Then we need to assign this responsibility to our user. And then we also need to assign the same into a profile so that you can use this primary ledger. So there are some steps which we need to follow. Like we need to create responsibility first, then we need to assign a responsibility to user, then we need to create a profile, then we will open our period, and then we will enter a journal there by using the PL which we have created. So let's go to the application and first create the responsibility. So for creating a responsibility, I need to go to the Java form. So I'm just opening it. open this Java form. Now you can see here switch responsibility icon is coming. Just select this and choose the system administrator responsibility. Say OK. Then we need to go to security. Security, we need to go to responsibility and then define. Now give a name to your responsibility. So I'm giving EBS demo responsibility. Fine. Then the application is general ledger. Then we will give a responsibility key, PS demo responsibility. Then description is not mandatory. If you want to add, you can add, and or it's a optional field here. Then available from Oracle application is fine. Effective date, it is taking today's date by default, so it is fine. Then we will give a data group, and the data group will be the standard data group here. Then we will give an application, general ledger. Then menu. What is this menu? Is it help us to give the access. So the person with the responsibility name EBS demo responsibility, what access would will the person will have? It will be defined by this option. So we will search for our general ledger super user responsibility, which we are going to assign here. So here it is. Just select, say OK. Then request group. This is important for the reporting purpose. You need to give a request group here, and we are going to give request group as concurrent program group. So let me search. Let's start with GL. So here it is, GL concurrent program group. Let's select and say OK. Application is coming, general ledger is fine. So we have done. So what we have done here in creating responsibility, we have given a responsibility name, the application responsibility key, effective date of this responsibility, data group, menu, and request group. After giving all this information, just save it from here, or you can just press Ctrl and S and save the same. So you can see as I have saved this responsibility, application and responsibility key fields got freezed here. Now just close this form. So as we have created the responsibility, now we are going to assign this responsibility to our user. So the user which I'm using here for demo purpose is IMP 500. So I'm going to assign this responsibility which we have created just now to the user IMP 500. So for that, you need to go to security here. In security, you need to go to user and then define. Now we will search for our user. It's IMP 500. Here it is. Just select and say OK. Now you can see all the responsibility which is already assigned to this user. Now we will add our newly created responsibility here. Just select any row here under responsibility and click on this add icon and search for the responsibility which we have created just now with the name EBS demo. So here is the responsibility EBS demo responsibility. Select and say OK. So it got assigned. Effective date is coming today's date. Just save it and close the form. Now we need to create a profile. So for profile, you need to go to this profile, then system. Now here search for the responsibility. And search for the profile GL data access set. So here it is GL data access set. Select and say OK and find. Now here under responsibility, you can see EBS demo responsibility is coming. You just need to add your primary ledger here. So what we have created with the name of EBS, here we will select the same. Where our primary ledger is coming, just save it and close the form. So we have done with all the steps. First, we have created the responsibility. Then after creating it, we have assigned the same to our user. Then we have created our profile and we have assigned our responsibility and the responsibility our primary ledger as well. Now what we will do, when you will go to this switch responsibility, now your responsibility which you have created with the name of EBS demo responsibility will be visible here. So you can see it is coming. Just select this responsibility and say OK. Fine. So we have done all the steps. Now the next steps which is required to be done here is to open the journal ledger period so that we can enter a journal for it. So for that, you can see in navigator our responsibility is coming. Make sure that it is a correct responsibility. So it is correct one. Then go to setups. Under setup, you can see open and close. Just go there to open your period. A ledger is coming. Just click on find. And the first period is Jan 23. Open and say yes. Request ID is coming. So we will go to view request and we will see whether the process is completed normally or not. You can see open period here, pending and standby is coming. Just refresh the same until it's completed. Now a new process with the open period. Balance is also running. Let's wait for it to complete. So you can see both the process got completed successfully. Just close it and just re-navigate to this open and close period. So once again, open it, find. Now you can see our Jan 23 period got opened, and as creating our primary ledger and specifying options, we have given 1 month as a future entryable. So February 23 is opened here as future entry. So in this future entry, you can enter a transaction, but posting can't be done. Fine. So we have create open one period. Now, if you want to open a next period, you can just click on it. Then the next period will get open. And if you want to open a target period, like you are in January and you want to open a period till July, so you there is no need to go manually one by one and open all the period. You can just select this open target period and just give a target period directly. Like I'm giving here the June 23 and select okay and open period. Then you can see from January to June, all the periods will get opened in one go. So request is running. Again, you need to go to view, request, find, refresh. So you can see it's got completed. Now again, re-navigate, go to open and close, open, find. Now here you can see all the periods from Jan to June has been opened and one period of July is future enterable. Fine. So this is how you can open your periods here. Now just close the form. Now what we will do here, we will open, we will enter a journal by using this PL which we have created, EBS PL. So for creating a journal, go to journals and enter a new journal. So you can see here ledger EBS PL which we have created is coming. Period June 23 is coming because we have open period till June. We can change it also. Like if you want to go for February 23, just select, say okay. You can see effective date, current date is coming, category is coming. This is nothing but a journal category, which we have already discussed that you can use the predefined one or you can create also. Then currency is coming and here reversal information is also coming. So now the next thing you can see here in journal, it has taken automatically one name. If you want to use the same, you can use, or if you want to change the same, you can change it. Like I'm giving test journal. Fine. Now let's give lines here. If you will go to this other information, you can see your sources coming like manual as I'm giving a manual journal entry here. Now I will create first line, give account. You can see now all the structure, segment, value sets are coming here, which we have created by creating a charts of account. The company, department, account, the company. Say okay. Give debit and a second line. You can see it's automatically taking 10 trends as EBS company segment value because we have given company segment as a balancing segment value. So debit and credit should be equal at the segment level, which is balancing segment. That's why it is reflecting automatically 10 as we have debited 10 here trends. So in credit also we are going to use the segment value 10 only. credit. If you want to add any description, you can add, like right now it is for demo or test purpose, so you can write test purpose, demo purpose. Fine. After this, just go to this post and post it. So this post action will automatically save your work. Say yes. You can see again request is running. So again go to view, request, find, let's refresh. You can see posting single journal completed normally. Close it, close this also, and just go to this read query. Now you can see here it got posted, sources manual, categories adjustment, period is Feb 23, batch name is test journal, journal name we have given test journal is coming USD $50. Fine, so this is how you can just create, enter your journal and can post it. Fine. If you want to review it, you can review. Fine. If you want to see the accounts, each account, you can see the details here. Fine. Let's close it. Coming back to PPT. So we have seen how we can create a PL. Then what are the other setups required to complete the PL setup? We have done all the same. And then after completing all the setups, we cannot use a primary ledger till we create a responsibility and assign the responsibility to user and create a profile and open the period. So we have done all this thing. And then by using the PL which we have created, we have also entered one journal and posted the same. Fine. So this completes our primary ledger. Then the next topic is to define data access sets. So what is data access? Data access is the on-demand authorized ability to retrieve, modify, copy, or move data from IT system. With data access, user can perform these functions in any location and with data in motion or at rest. So what you need to do is you need to first define a data access set and then you need to assign the same. So let's go to the application and see how you can define the data access and also assign the same for the more clarity on the concept. So moving back to the instance. So the navigation for creation of the data access set will be, you need to go to the setups. In setups, you need to go to the financials. In financials, you need to go to definition access set. And then first you need to define the same. So in definition access set, so it's very easy. You just need to give a name to your access set here. Like I'm giving EBS access set. Now this field was mandatory, but description is optional. So if you want to add any description, you can add or you can just skip. So I'm just adding a description like for demo purpose. Fine. And just save the work. You can see as I have saved definition access set name got freezed. Now just close this form. Here one thing, if you will search, you can say EBS access set, just select and say OK. So you can just give your definition type definition name with the privileges, like you can go use view modify any of the following privileges here according to the requirement. So if you want, you can just specify definition type and name here, or else you can just save the name, definition access set name, and can define the same afterwards while assigning. So I have just given a name to my access set and I have saved the work. Now I will assign the same. So for assigning, the navigation is same. You need to go to setup, financials, definition access set, then assign. Now here we will search for the responsibility for which you're defining your access set assignment. So the responsibility which we have created just now with the EBS demo responsibility name, let's search for that and use it. Just select and say OK. Now here definition access set it is asking. So we have created EBS access set. So we will assign the same to it. And now here you can give the privileges, like if a person with this responsibility EBS demo responsibility is working. So what privileges does that person or user have? So if you want to give use, you can give use. You want to give view, you can give view. You want to give modify privilege, you can give modify privilege. Or if you want all the three privileges, you can give all the three privileges as well. So like I want this the person with this responsibility of EBS demo has the privileges of view and modify say. Fine, let's now save it. So this is how you can assign your data access set. Now let's see whether the assignment is done successfully or not. Go to view, request, find, let's refresh it. It's got completed normally. So we have defined our access set and we have also assigned it to our responsibility. Now, how you can use this data access set is like while we were creating a calendar, accounting calendar, I have told you that there is one checkbox of security enabled. So when you will enable this checkbox, assign access tab get activated and from there you can assign this data access set. So let me take you to that calendar part. So for accounting calendar, you need to go to setup. The setup, you know, to go to financials, and in financial, you need to go to calendar. Under calendar, you need to go to accounting for accounting calendar. Now you here give a name like test. Here you can see enable security checkbox. If you will enable this, this tab gets activated. You can see here it is not activated right now, but as you enable this, it's got activated. Now from here you can go to assign access and you can give a definition access set like we have created with the name of EBS. You can search for it and say OK. Now you can see view and modify is coming here. And after giving this, you just say OK. Fine. So person with this definition access set can view and modify this calendar. So this help us for security purpose also. This was the use of your definition access set. Just closing the form. So not only in calendar, we have seen enable security under various other tasks as well. So whenever you can enable this security, you can assign your access data access set as well. So for that, first you need to define your data access set, then you need to assign the same to the responsibility, and then you can use the same. So this was a very small and easy concept. Now the next thing which I'm going to cover for today is the cross validation rules. So what is cross validation rule? Cross validation, it is also known as cross segment validation. It controls the combination of values you can create when you enter values for key flex field. A cross-validation rule defines whether a value of a particular segment can be combined with specific value of other segment. It is cross-validation is different from segment validation, which controls the value you enter for a particular segment. You can use cross-validation rule to prevent the creation of combination that should never exist. Combination with values that should not coexist in the same combination. So basically, by using cross-validation rule, you can specify what is the invalid code combination. So whenever this code combination occurs while entering journal or so, an error message will get displayed that this code combination is not valid. So you can use cross validation rules for the same. Here is one example. Let's take it. It's like if your organization manufactures both computer equipment and vehicle, such as truck, you might want to prevent the creation of hybrid part number of objects such as truck keyboard or CPU headlight. So here you can see the example like here in part number computer monitor light 10 is coming. So what is the valid combination? Computer with the monitor 873 and here color is light tan. But if this combination of category color occurs with the wrong item like four wheel, so it will give us the error information of the day that you cannot use a code combination of your computer equipment with the vehicles one. So you can control this code combination, invalid code combination creation in the application by using a cross validation rule. Fine. So basically, what are the steps which we required here? So first thing is you can create this cross validation rule at the segment level. While creating a charts of accounts, there was an option of cross validation also. So you can use the same. So for that, we need to go to segment values in our charts of accounts. First, we need to enable cross validation segment there. Then we can create a cross validation rule and we will enter a general by using our invalid code combination and we will see how error will be created while giving an invalid code combination. So let's go to application. So the first thing is to go to segment value. So for that, going towards my Java form here. So for our segment value, what is the navigation is going to set up financial, just expand this flex fields. Here it is key description validation. You need to go to this key, expand the same, and then you can see segments. Just select it. Search for the application, general ledger, and search for the structure. Put a cursor on any of the row under code here and just find your structure which you have created. So the structure which we have created was with the name of EBS structure. So here it is. Now here you can see cross validate segment is coming. So you need to enable this first. So first just unfreeze your flexible definition. Enable your cross validate segments and then again freeze flexible definition and then compile. So it start running. You can go to this view, request, find, and you can see compile key flexible got completed normally here. Let's close this also. Now the next thing which we are going to do here is to create a cross validation rule first. So for that, you need to go to same setup financial flex field key and under key eh, sorry under key you can see rules, just select it. Now you need to give your application and structure. Just give the application this general ledger, and your structure is EBS structure. Find it. So here it is. Just select and say OK. Now the next thing is to give a name to your cross validation tool. So I'm giving the name here as test CVR. If you want to add a description, you can add, like I'm giving creating CVR. Like I'm going to create a CVR that if a company 10, that is trends occur, then with that company segment only account 1111 that is reversible should get occurred here. So for that, I'm writing creating CVR rules that for company value 10, 1111, 1111, that is foreseeable, foreseeable value will occur. Fine, now let's add an error message. So I'm adding error message as invalid combination. Fine. Now we need to give a cross validation rule element. So first, include, we are going to include all the segments first. So we will give all the segments like from 10 to 40. Like I'm here giving 10 to 40. Here you can give from 00 to 99 as 2-digit code combination are there for this segment company. So you need, if you want to cover the whole range, you can go for 00 to 99 here. But I'm just using what we have given here from 10 to 40. Similarly for the department also, you can go for from 000 to 999, or else I'm just using the low and high department, that is 000 to 002. Similarly for accounts, so basically first we need to include all the segment values here from high, from low to high, and say OK. Now we will create exclusion, and exclusion will be like for company 10 we need. So we will create exclusion from 20 to 40. Department, I'm going to select the whole range as only company and account segments are involved. Now account will be, as we are talking about 1111. So account will be 1111 high and low both. Then intercompany. Taking the whole segment for intercompany as well. Fine. So just excluded from 20 to 40 company, and I have taken 1111 receivable only here. So this is how first you need to create all the inclusion, then you need to create all the exclusion and save your work. Then after saving, you need to go back to your segment values. So for segment values again, set the financial flexible key segments. Just open it. And again, search for the application, journal ledger, and structure, EBS structure. So here it is. Now what you need to do is again just unfreeze and freeze the flex field definition. We are doing this step to activate our cross validation rules which we have created just now. So after unfreezing and freezing again your flex field definition, compile. Now go back to this view, request, find. And here you can see compile key flex field got completed in normal status. Just close it, and once just switch the responsibility, like go to system administrator responsibility, because sometimes it takes times to get activated, the cross validation rule. So we are just switching the responsibility. Now going back to our responsibility, EBS demo responsibility, select and say OK. Now let's go to journal and enter one journal with an invalid code combination to see that whether our cross validation rule is working properly. So for that, we need to go to journals, enter, create new journal. Now give a journal name here, like I'm giving test CVR. Fine. And I'm going to change my period as Feb 23. Now I will give a line 1. Let's take company 20 with any department. And account will be 1111. So it's an invalid code because only company 10 trends can occur with the receivable account here. So it should display an error message here. So after selecting all this, just select OK. So here you can see invalid code combination and error message is coming. So our CVR is working properly. Now let's change the company from fresh to trends and say OK. Now here you can see it has taken this accounting entry. So this is how you can create a cross validation rule to specify your invalid code combination. Like it is in our CVR rule, we have defined company 10 segment value with the 1111 receivable segment value in our accounts. So if you will use any other company segment instead of 10, that is 10, it will give an error message. Like for 20 we have checked. Uh, let's check for 30 and 40 also. So 30 digital is giving error. And let's say for 40 also global. Select, say OK. OK. So it is giving error. So this is how you can create your CVR rules. Fine. So this was a cross validation rule which we have created. So it is very important before creating a cross validation rule, you need to go to your segment value and you need to enable your cross validate segment there. Then freeze your flexible definition and compile. Then after creating cross validation rule, also you again need to go to segment value and freeze and unfreeze your flex field definition there and compile again. Then switch your responsibility so that it's get activated because it takes some time to get activated, and then create a journal to check it. So this was all about the cross validation. So In our today's session, we have done a quick revision of all the topics which we have done already in our previous session. Then after that, we have seen PL setups, which we have completed yesterday. Then after completing the setup, we have defined a responsibility, assign it to user. We have created a profile there. Then after creating a profile, we have opened a period for entering a journal, which is very important because if period will not be open, entries are not possible to get entered there. Then we have enter one journal and see how we can enter a journal and we can post the same. Then after that, we have discussed about the small concept of data access set, that how you can define the access set and how you can assign the same. It gives a user with a responsibility, a privilege of like, you can use it, you can view it, or you can modify it. So you can just specify all the privileges and you can assign a data access set for enabling the security purpose. Then after that, we have seen how you can create a cross validation rule. That is nothing but an invalid code combination creation. Fine. So this was all about the today's topic. Thanks for joining.